So I'm pretty excited about my official Green Oasis Farms hat and Green Oasis Farms shirt, and actually it says Mike from Arizona on the back, or Mike from AZ. So as of right now, they're not for sale. They might go up for sale at some point. I've had a lot of people actually ask to purchase these for me. They're great products, honestly. Either way, I'm going to be doing promotions with some of you guys, some of you subscribers who have reached out to me, and with those promotions, you will be receiving a Green Oasis Farms hat or a Green Oasis Farms shirt with the name of your YouTube channel printed on the back, just like I have on my gear. Okay, well, I'm pretty excited about that. Stay tuned now for my information on my second video for my planted aquarium.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike here from Arizona, and I'm excited about a few things. First off, I'm going to talk about, yesterday I put up the first video of the tank being redone. It was just kind of the after effects of everything, filling it up. Tank looks great right now. It's, you know, I have a 1/4 inch of dirt, just like I said, underneath the sand. It's quickcrete sand, as well as, I'll show you, I have one bag left because I didn't want to make it more than a 1/4 inch. Just wanted a kind of a light dusting underneath the sand. I don't really like a heavy dirt substrate, just because of the potential for algae blooms and even root rot that could possibly happen. Not to say that it will, but it's always possible. But this is what I use right here. This is a Miracle Grow product. This is organic potting mix. Now, it's very similar, if you've looked at Dustin's planted tank guide, it's very similar to what he tells you to use. And the reason being is it's organic, it's Miracle Grow. It's not the exact formula of the one he uses, but this one is one of the ones that I've used in the past, and this one has been very good for me, especially with plants such as dwarf sage, jungle val, and Amazon swords. Those plants have all done really well under this, so I would not believe that they wouldn't do good in my fish tank. They've done great in the outdoor greenhouse up to this point. So being that I only have about a 1/4 inch of this underneath the sand. Oh, and then by the way, the price of this per bag it ranges from about $8 to $12 a bag. On my 125 gallon fish tank, I actually use 2 of these to obtain the 1/4 inch underneath the cap of sand. And I'm actually using the sand that was already in the fish tank, which was about 2 inches of pool filter sand by Quickcrete. That is actually $8 per bag. Okay, so right off the bat, let's just say I spent $8 on this bag, so I have 2 of those. That's $16, and Quickcrete pool filter sand, that's another $8. That's $24 to put a substrate down in a 125 gallon aquarium. Now keep in mind, I don't want to discredit any of the major brands out there. I think it's great if you can afford Eco Complete or other brands that are in high quality, which will do more than enough to get your job going in any planted aquarium. Some people are on a budget, guys. In my case, I'm doing this for the person who's on a budget, because I want to make people know that just because you don't have all the money in the world, that you could have a planted aquarium and still be able to have a thriving, beautiful planting aquarium, not just a mediocre one. I'm showing you here too, Osmocote Plus. This stuff is a lifesaver, guys. Now, when you don't use a lot of soil, your soil will run out a little quicker. Now, not run out where it's going to disappear, run out where the nutrients will be used up by the plants. So you are going to have to supplement with this right here. And what you do is you take a bunch of these little tiny, they're tiny little pellets, and I don't know what you can see. I've had videos in the past where I've made these into capsules, which I have these capsules. You take this and you fill them up in the capsules. This bottle I've had this now for a little over a year, and it's a 1/4 of the way done, and you know how many plants I have. Now, in general, this bottle is anywhere from 10 to 15 bucks. I've seen it at most. I paid $10 for this one. Okay, this, I would say, use this sparingly. In my aquarium, the 125 gallon aquarium that I'm going to do, I'm probably going to put anywhere between 30 and 50 capsules full of these in the aquarium for the rooted plants. Not to mention too, when they do dissolve, now some people can argue this, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody has their opinion, everybody has their own experiences. But when they do dissolve, they do get up into the water column as well, and they could cause nitrate spikes, they could whatever. However, if you use the appropriate amount for your fish tank, now I would say if you have a 20-gallon aquarium, I would say 5 to 8 of these tops. But if you have a 40-gallon aquarium, possibly 20 of these. So on my 125-gallon aquarium, I could use a lot more, but I'm starting out with fresh soil, or fresh potting mix, I should say, and this is going to do just more than enough, anywhere between 30 and 50 capsules throughout the sand. Now this also, in my experience, has promoted growth of carpeting plants. So the carpeting plants will grow towards where the capsules are. Oh, and again, what I was getting at, when they do release into the water column, if you have things like Java ferns and also Anubias, maybe you don't have those dirted, those will actually pick up the nutrients in the water, and this is a miracle for all of that stuff. It works really well. Also, what I wanted to bring to your attention, I've talked about this in the past too, ironite. This, I would recommend do not use this heavily. This could potentially burn your plants with too much iron. So if you're not dosing iron, or you dose very minimal iron, or you don't want to dose iron at all, this is a thing to put in your capsules as well as the Osmocote. I would say maybe a couple of granules. So if your Osmocote comes out to like 10 granules, these 10 little pellets per capsule, because these are just regular gel caps that we're going to fill up. I would say 3 to 4 little granules of this ironite per capsule. That'll give you enough iron for your plants. You will start to see the nice reds pop out. Your species that are like grass, like dwarf sage, hairgrass, they're gonna love it. It's gonna multiply really quickly under that stuff. So this bag, I think this was about $7. Okay, you don't necessarily need this if you're dosing iron in your aquarium or you have chelated iron. Some people use clay. I'm gonna be using clay as well, which I happen to get the clay for free. I have actual friends that have ponds upstate in New York that grow clay naturally, and they send it to me by a boatload, and I actually have never really used it up until recently, and the stuff's amazing. I don't know what kind of trace elements are in there, like what kind of minerals. I know there's iron for sure, because after using the clay, a lot of my plants that were red got a lot redder. Also, too, I've seen a lot of big explosions from my valves with it, so I'm sure there's plenty of iron as well, like I said, in there. But there's got to be other things in that clay, because everything seems to do much better with the clay. But the biggest difference was, and it's not red clay, it's more of a grayish color clay. It's so the biggest thing though was my reds got redder on my plants. So really quickly, just to cap off everything I'm saying, if you want to start a very, very inexpensive planted aquarium, I recommend using an organic potting mix, also using Quickcrete pool filter sand, Osmocote Plus for root tabs when your potting mix is not doing the job it used to do, and it can take a long time before the soil goes away. Just to quote people in the past, I know people who have used organic potting mix. I mean, granted, they have used about an inch or a little bit more than an inch. It's lasted them about a year to 2 years before they started to see slowing down in the growth of their aquarium. However, they had to do very heavy water changes with 1 inch to 2 inches of organic potting mix, because if they didn't, they would get a lot of nuisance algae. So just so you're aware of that. That's why, again, I'm only using 1/4 of an inch, just a slight dusting on the ground, capped off with about 1 inch to 2 inches of sand. I believe I have 2 inches of sand in there now, as far as I know. But with that said, it really just protects everything. And I believe that at most, weekly, I'm probably going to do 50% water changes. I might do a little bit less. It just depends. I'm just going to play it by ear and see how the algae, if the algae even grows, because it is already an established aquarium. The sand, the driftwood, the things I had in there already have really nice beneficial bacteria. They eat a lot of stuff that outcompetes with the algae. A lot of the things in there actually eat algae. So either way, it's going to be a good experiment. And I can't wait to show you the livestock that I'm going to be getting. I did listen to a lot of you guys of what you want to see in there, and I'm taking that into consideration. I'm going to be making my my fish order real soon for that, but I do have a couple of things in there that a lot of people have mentioned that are coming in, and I will do an unboxing video of that in the future. So, just so you know, I'll be doing daily videos until this tank is complete, if I can. Most likely will happen. And I want everybody to know that this is going to be for you guys on a budget. So I did keep that in mind. I wanted to be very mindful of that. I did not want to start high-end. We can eventually turn this tank into something a little more high-end. We're going to stay with the basics, but maybe, you know, down the line we're going to add CO2. We're going to do all kinds of things to it. So next video we'll be talking about lighting, and that's really it. So you guys have a great day. Please comment, please throw me a like, and please subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.